Thank you for joining us on this episode of EideCast. Is this thing on? I'm Mary Weiss, and I'm here with Carlos Medina. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Doing well. So starting off right away, do you want to tell us what you do?
Yep, I'm a service advisor here for Vern Eide Mitsubishi.
Okay.
Been doing that for about a year now. Liking that.
Nice. What exactly does a service advisor do?
Everything.
Okay.
Essentially. So it's kind of like the nurse when you go to the doctor, you tell everything to, and then that person tells that to the doctor, kind of thing.
Okay.
And
Very
we
nice.
are, receptionists, appointment takers. We listen to people, and sometimes we're a punching bag too.
Yeah. What is the hardest thing about being a service advisor?
Not being able to turn around problem customers.
Okay.
Like feeling that I got defeated and not where it wasn't able to turn it around from him being pissed off to leaving happy.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the biggest challenge. And
Okay.
what puts me down a lot.
Does that happen? Would you say out of a handful of customers, would you say majority are happy, or?
Oh yeah,
That's
I'd say
good, at
90% of
least.
them are leaving happy.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I feel like you're always going to have the situation where, and they might not necessarily be mad at you, but just kind of
Just
the
mad at the situation.
Yeah.
And then you're just the face there, so that's basically where it's that at.
That's fair. What did you do before you were a service
I
advisor?
was a parts advisor before.
Okay. And then how long have you been with Vern Eide?
I've been with Vern Eide since 2015.
Okay, very nice. Were you always parts before that, or did you?
So I started off at the Honda location here in Sioux Falls as a parts advisor. Then I moved from there, went to Motoplex, then from Motoplex to Sioux City. Took a couple years off from the car industry, and then moved back here and started doing service advisory.
So you've been parts advisor and service advisor. Is there any other position within work that you think you'd want to try or would enjoy?
Well, I've already done parts manager. That was fun. I don't know. I think I've hit the top from where I want to go right now.
Yeah.
I don't see myself wanting to go anywhere else right now as far as career-wise. I think the next step would probably be, managing my own service drive or even a store. But I still think I got a lot to go for that yet.
Okay. If there was just for a day to try it out, you're like, that kind of looks interesting, or just to get a glimpse of the other world. Is there something that you would want to try?
Yeah, a lot of things. Probably the biggest one would be kind of what you guys do.
Okay.
Is record, make videos and stuff like that.
Media stuff. Fun. Do you do any of that on your own, or?
No, I used to vaguely when I was 18. I used to do a lot of graphic design stuff, like pictures and whatnot, and just edit pictures for friends and whatnot. That's kind of what I did a lot, and I would take a lot of training on that too.
Okay.
Forgotten a lot of
Yeah.
it. It's probably a lot of outdated stuff now, but that's kind of my thing. I like designing stuff and things like that.
Would you say you're generally creative as well other ways, or what do you enjoy doing that is kind of in that creative way?
Yeah, I'm generally creative. I wanted to be an architect when coming out of high school. That didn't pan out, but creative-wise, or I guess different than creative-wise, mechanically inclined. I like working on cars, working on engines, really. I like working on motorcycles, anything that involves tools.
Okay. You're very hands-on.
Yeah.
Very nice. Do you prefer service over parts, or?
Yeah, because it's not as monotonous as dealing with parts every day. Parts, it's cool because it's consistent and you kind of memorize it a lot. But with service, it's something new every day. I mean, yeah, you might have the typical, brake squeak or whatever, but it's something different every day. That's kind of what keeps you going.
Very nice. What did you do prior to being with Vern Eide? I guess it's been a while though too.
Yeah. So before coming to Vern Eide, I was working for Traffic Solution, putting up road signs.
Okay.
And then before that, I was washing cars at the parts house that my dad used to work at in Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice. And where are you from originally?
I'm from New York.
Okay, very nice. How? When did you move to Sioux Falls?
Originally we moved back in 2015. We moved to Pipestone, Minnesota, and then we were there for a year, and we were always coming to Sioux Falls for everything. So we're like, why not move to Sioux Falls? So that's when we did that.
Very nice. Out of all the different, or how many, did you only live in New York before Pipestone, or have you lived other places
I've
too?
lived other places. I've been to New York, Florida, Chicago, and Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And Iowa.
Do you have a favorite place that you've lived so far?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. That's fair.
Yeah, it's home.
that's fair. What's something that you miss most about Puerto Rico?
Food.
The food. Do you find anything like that around Sioux Falls, or?
Not really. Hardly ever. I mean, there's some people that do like some type of Puerto Rican typical foods, but it's mostly during the summer times, and I do it myself too, so it's like, why go out of my way to go find it when I do it at home?
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite thing to make?
It would probably be lechon asado, which is pork, roasted pork.
Okay.
And they do it in Puerto Rico. What they do is they put a bar through the pork and then they roast it in the smoke or whatever you want. It comes out really nice.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Very nice. What does your family consist of?
My wife, my daughter, and my 2 sons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How old are your kids?
My daughter's 10 or 11. She just turned 11 actually this October. And then my son's 5 and my other son's 3.
Okay, very fun. How did you meet your wife?
Facebook.
Fun. Was it just like you were scrolling through and saw her profile, or
she sent me the friend request?
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
she made the first move.
Yeah.
How long have you two been married?
13 years, I think.
Wow. What is your favorite thing about being a parent?
That's tough. I'd say everything really. The favorite thing about being a parent for me would be is when my son just comes out of the blue, or any of my childs come out of the blue and gives me a hug and Dad, I love you, and walks away. I think that'd be the epitome of it.
Super heartwarming.
Yeah.
What is your why?
My kids, my family. Let's wake up every morning and got to get it done for them.
Mm-hmm. So coming to Sioux Falls, you said you were previously in Pipestone. Mm-hmm. What brought you to Pipestone?
Well, we had friends that used to live in Pipestone, or I think they still live in Pipestone. We just don't talk enough lately. But basically, back in Puerto Rico, we weren't really doing very good. It was living a lot of paycheck to paycheck type thing. I was working part-time. My daughter was a year old, and money was just stretched too thin. Mm-hmm. So at the time, we had these friends that lived in Pipestone, and he's, he wanted to be my daughter's godfather is what he wanted to be. And he's like, come to Pipestone. It's great over here. There's, lot of jobs. It's good to raise kids. We took him up on that, and we haven't left ever. Well, we left, for that vacation time, but other than that, we like it out here because of it. It's not dangerous, so to speak, to like Puerto Rico or New York or Chicago. It's still really good education wise, and stuff like that to raise children up here. So it's kind of why we like it over here.
Okay. Kind of tying into Vern Eide, what's different about Vern Eide than other places that you've worked?
The difference between Vern Eide and other places is that you're family here. You don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, I gotta go to work. It's like, hey, we're going to work. Let's have some fun at work, and a little work, a lot of fun kind of thing is what I like to say, which realistically it's all work, but it's basically that is that you're not treated like a number here. You can walk into the sales tower and say good morning to the owner, and it's like, hey, it's not like other places where you don't go do that, or you don't go here.
Yeah,
so
or you don't ever see some owners too.
Right. So that's kind of what I like about here is just the family aspect of it.
Nice. What is your favorite thing about your job?
Can't say that.
Now I'm curious.
My favorite part about my job is making sure that people leave with a safe car, reliable car, and a fixed car, obviously, because you don't really send a car under the assumption that it's fixed and then it comes back, and now you're really really dealing with a pissed off customer.
Yeah. When you're not at work, what do you enjoy doing?
An array of things. I like riding bicycles, just hanging out with the family, my kids. I like to cook sometimes here and there, I like to invent in the kitchen. I just got a PC, so I'm kind of doing that right now. Okay.
With the PC, are you gaming?
Yep.
Or, okay, what are some games you like to play?
Grand Theft Auto a lot. Recently I'm playing Black Ops, and I've been growing very fond to Assassin's Creed, not sure why. Okay. I never really liked that game.
Is it different? Like, have you played Xbox or PlayStation
before? Yeah,
before?
Xbox guy.
How is it different with a PC than like Xbox or PlayStation?
You got more freedom, really.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not tied down to the console. Like with mine's, I got, I think, like a 250 gigabyte Xbox, so I'd have to delete a game if I want to put a new game. With the PC, I got like 1 terabyte of storage, and the games are not that big, so you can download. I got like 4 or 5 games on the PC.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I think it's a little bit better. And then graphics are better, you know, response is a lot better, and I like it.
Okay. I've heard a lot of people prefer PC over gaming station.
Well,
but
in the gaming community, what we say is you're freeing from the chains of the consoles, essentially.
Okay, that makes sense. You like to ride bike too, you said. Do you have a favorite place to go, or
just the trails? I've found those out recently, and that's amazing. I like it. I think Sioux Falls has 27 miles of paved trail.
Wow.
I haven't done all of them, but
okay. Is that something you do with your family, or just kind of by yourself?
Just by myself to kind of distract the mind, you know.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Do you listen to podcasts or music while you do that, or
just music?
Silence?
Yeah,
okay.
just music.
What's your go-to music?
It'd be Spanish hip hop or reggaeton.
Okay. Do you have a favorite artist?
Ooh.
I don't know if I'll know them, but
probably not. It's Ñengo Flow.
Okay.
He's a Puerto Rican rapper. Not a very great one, but doesn't promote very great music.
Okay.
But I like it still.
Hey, sometimes I don't want to say interesting music, but some music with the not necessarily the best subject type is really enjoyable.
Yeah,
so.
I don't listen to it with my kids around. That's for sure.
That's right. Okay, so I have a list of some random questions. So I'm going to ask you some of those. It's a list of 1 to 65. So I'm going to let you throw out a random number.
Sure.
And then I'll just ask you the question.
Do 27.
27. What is your favorite kind of weather?
The hot, the better.
Yeah. You're kind of a little lizard and just like
I like the heat. Well, you know, growing up partly in Puerto Rico, you kind of get really used to it. You know, and for me here in South Dakota, it's always cold.
That's fair. Is Puerto Rico more humid or dry?
It's like a happy medium.
Oh, okay.
You know, like it's not completely humid, but it's not completely dry. You know, it still gets muggy, but it's just straight hot.
But it's not necessarily like the humidity here.
Yeah, like wintertime over there, it gets the lowest it'll get is probably 70 degrees in the wintertime.
That's nice. I wish there.
And then if you go like to the mountains, there it goes down to like 62, 63 degrees.
Okay.
So still not terrible.
Yeah. What's like, if you could pick the ideal weather for the day, what like temperature would that be?
It starts off at about 58 degrees and then the day ends at 72. Money.
I can agree with that. I wish there were a place that was like that pretty much every single day. I mean, I like that we have a little bit of variation here, so it's not the exact same every day. But
it's like this year, fall has been weird. Like we've actually gotten a fall this year.
Yeah, I haven't been mad about this fall because it's but it's kind of nice to have a little bit of change in here and there. But I can agree on that. Okay, next number.
Oh, I get to pick another number.
You get a couple here.
Let's do 7.
7. Okay. Which unconventional animal do you wish that you could have as a pet?
A Komodo dragon.
Okay. Why Komodo dragons?
Because they're freaking cool.
They're pretty cool. Have you ever seen one in person?
Not in person, no.
I think there's a zoo, I want to say in Minnesota, that they have one. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Really?
I think I learned about it when I was in like 4th grade, and I remember going to a zoo, and I was like, there's a Komodo dragon. So maybe it's not there anymore. I don't know, but...
Yeah, I think they're just freaking cool.
Aren't they like huge too?
Yeah, they're I think 6 feet tall or big.
Yeah.
They're venomous.
Maybe they don't have one in Minnesota.
I don't know. They're venomous and they're I like them. I've liked them since the beginning.
That's pretty cool. Where are they native to? Are they?
Indonesia.
That's what I thought. Okay. That was not the answer. I don't know what I expected, but you knew what you were going to pick for that.
Well, I have a ball python at home, so I already have an unconventional animal.
What pets do you have?
I have a dachshund, cocker spaniel mix, or known as a dachshund, and a ball python. It's a super pastel bongo lesser.
Say that again. What?
It's a super pastel bongo lesser, so it's like a super gene, 3-gene animal.
What color is it then? Is
it's yellow, bright yellow with green eyes.
What's its name?
Nagini.
Okay. I think I'm terrified of snakes.
Yeah,
that terrifies me. But more
they're okay.
To you.
It's funny because the first one I had, so I've always been fond of snakes, right? My mom never wanted to get me one because she was afraid of them, right?
Yeah.
Which is fair. So I get my first snake. It was a grown snake, and I'm terrified of it, right?
Yeah.
Like I wake up one day and I tell my wife, I'm gonna get in that cage and I'm gonna get it out, and I put my hand there and it moves and it looks at me. I'm like, okay, maybe not today. That's a funny story. It lasted in my house probably for 2 weeks before I actually got the courage to take it out and pet it and play with it.
What does your wife think of it?
She's grown to kind of get okay with them, but she doesn't like them.
I have so many questions. What do you feed it?
Rats.
Okay. um, do you have like a lock on the
Yeah.
enclosure?
So I don't use like the conventional tanks.
Okay.
I use a like a Sterilite plastic tub, you know, like your shoe
Mm-hmm.
tubs, with locking hinges. And that's about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to like keep your house out? Because you have to keep it pretty warm, don't you?
No,
Or
I use a heating pad.
okay, that makes
and
sense.
it heats the tub up because realistically what they need is belly heat.
Okay.
And the atmospheric heat, as long as it's within, I think it's like 75 to about 80, you're okay.
Okay.
So what I do is I put a blanket over it, and that heat kind of works itself in there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do your kids think?
And they love him.
Oh my.
Yeah, my daughter. I had a 6.5 foot snake one.
Yeah.
It was about yay thick, and she would put it on her and walk around the house like nothing.
No. I mean, I love that for them because
Yeah.
I like wish I wasn't terrified of them, but just just
Mm-hmm.
okay.
They're cool.
I mean, like, I have some appreciation for them, like especially I don't know, looking at just how long is it?
Mine's just not that big. She's still juvenile size, so I'd say she's probably about 3.5, 4 feet.
How big is she gonna get?
She can get up to 6 feet, 7 feet. Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't they like? And maybe I'm like this. Maybe this is like slander on snakes. I'm so sorry, but don't they like start like stretching to like size up and like potentially eat
Just
you?
the bigger snakes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The like reticulated pythons, boas, anacondas and stuff like that. They'll do that.
Okay. Gross. I mean, I'm so happy for you for that. But the thought of that is just okay. Sorry.
I used to have 13 of them.
You had 13 snakes.
I only got one now.
13? What, were they all like different kinds?
No,
or?
same species, just
Okay.
different morphs.
Okay. Well, different morphs. What does that mean?
So like mutations. So like the super pastel bongo lesser is separate mutations. So like
Okay.
a pastel is like a yellow type snake. The bongo is another gene, and then the lesser is another gene. So
Okay.
you mix all that together, and you get like a 3-gene animal.
Okay. Interesting. You learn something new all the time. I think I would never have dove into learning about snakes just because I think even seeing a picture of one would be
Yeah.
like, ah!
Yeah.
But, okay, that's cool. When did you get your first snake?
I think that was back like when I was like 20 years old, so about 11 years ago.
Okay. What's like the coolest experience you've had with owning snakes?
Mm,
Or like what's something people don't know about owning a snake?
well, ball pythons, so to speak, they're basically like pet rocks.
Okay.
Like you get freaked out. Oh my God, it's a snake! But you touch it and she balls up and she
Okay.
doesn't want to deal with you. Now like if you were to say like a boa, that's different because boas are active. And, like there's levels to it essentially. So like my snake are like beginner snakes. So that's kind of like if you were to get into that, that's where I would guide you into.
Okay. But better if it happens. I'll go to you for advice
Right.
on that. Too funny. Okay. Sorry. I feel like I was gonna ask you too. What's something people don't know about you? But is that something people don't know about you, or is that kind of a
Well, I mean,
well-known fact?
no, I'm pretty peculiar when it comes to things like that. I like different things, I'm very helpful. I'm outgoing, I'm a go-getter. Like I don't put excuses if I have to go out and get it, That's basically it.
Okay. Next question.
Do 13.
13. What is your claim to fame? You're picking all the same questions as Camille. Sorry.
So, I don't know if you could consider it a claim to fame, but I aspire to be the president one of these days.
Oh.
Or one of these years, I guess.
What would your like running slogan be?
Well, I don't know because don't have that yet. But basically, it would be like, are you tired of voting for a career politician? Why not vote for someone like you? That's me.
Yeah.
The everyday person. Wake up every morning and grind just like the voters do.
Yeah.
So who better to know how we're living than the people that are living it?
Yeah.
Because like I like to say, these politicians nowadays, 80, 70, 80 years old, they don't know what we're going through.
Yeah, it's different. That's for sure. Interesting. I would not have guessed that either. You're full of random things I would not have guessed. Okay. Another question.
You said 65. I think I know why you kept it to 65. Let's do 65.
65. What is the silliest way you've ever gotten an injury?
Sorry. Sorry. The other day, I fell off my bike right here in front of the store.
How did you fall off?
I missed the curb, and I hit the curb and went down.
Did you like actually get injured from it?
No,
or
well,
that's-
my wrist was hurting a little bit, but no, it wasn't that
That's
bad.
good at
It was just the
least.
silliest way. Everybody saw it too.
Like it on like security camera.
Yeah, I actually had Bruce pull up the recording, and I
Yeah.
recorded it.
We should like insert that in.
No. That'd be funny.
How often do you fall off your bike? Is that kind of first for you, or?
That was the second time, but that wasn't trying.
Okay.
The first time was trying because I was trying to jump a ledge,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and the back tire clipped it and I went down. I didn't hurt
Okay.
myself there, but the second one, yeah,
That
kind
was
of
just
biffed
so
that
whoops.
one. Yeah,
Now I need to see that.
right. And it's
so
funny,
funny.
too because I come up to it, you see like I'm trying to get off or something. I don't
Yeah.
know what I was doing. I just went down.
Okay, I'm gonna make you show me that because
Yeah.
that sounds absolutely hilarious. Is there anything else that you want anybody to know about you or want to share?
Pretty good.
Okay. All right, well, Carlos, thank you so much for coming on this episode of Is This Thing On? We appreciate you being here, and thanks for watching.